So guys, we all know that what an amazing company Apple is. iPad, iPhone, MacBook, any electronic gadget that is built by Apple is a world-class product. Such an amazing, user-friendly, unique operating system it has that makes it so valuable and creates a huge social impact. No doubt that Apple is the most valued company in the world, valued at over 2 trillion US dollars. Even Uber is, I feel, the most seamless services that you can use for urban mobility transport. Such an amazing user interface, such an easy user interface that one click and the driver is there at your doorstep. You input the location and the location is already there on the driver's phone. Contactless payments is such a unique feature that makes it so easy to make the payments. Apple, Uber, Amazon, Facebook, Microsoft, there are so many amazing startups that have created such huge social impacts and are so valuable. So what really makes them so valuable and why are these brands loved so much? So I think by now you all must have guessed what the answer is, and the answer is the products, the features, the services, the unique value proposition that they bring out to the customer is what makes them so likable and so valuable, right? And what helps them in making this unique value proposition is their deep consumer understanding and the consumer insights that they have about their market and about their customers. So in today's video, we will learn how to develop a very unique value proposition and how to come up with great products and services that would truly satisfy your customers. तो guys, अगर आपको ये वीडियो पसंद आता है तो लाइक करिए, शेयर करिए, कमेंट करिए. अगर आप इस चैनल पर नए हैं तो सब्सक्राइब करिए, बेल आइकन हिट करना भूलना मत ताकि मेरे लेटेस्ट वीडियोस के नोटिफिकेशंस आप तक सबसे पहले पहुंचे. So hi guys, my name is Siddhant and I'm your entrepreneur consultant, and so in today's video we will learn how to develop a unique value proposition, how to come up with great product ideas, and how to develop services that would really make your brand irresistible and would attract customers towards your brand. So what is value proposition? तो सबसे पहले हमें ये understand करना होगा कि value proposition क्या है. So value proposition is nothing but the products and services that the company creates and the benefits that the customers get from these products and services. So if you have created a product and it benefits the customers in some or the other way, then it is a valuable product. However, if you have created a product which has no demand and no need in the market, then definitely it is not a value proposition because that proposition doesn't hold any value, right? So in today's video, we are going to learn how to come up with a great value proposition using the famous value proposition canvas. This is a very basic business framework that is used by not only new startups but also by big companies. आज का फ्रेमवर्क काफ़ी इंपॉर्टेंट है, तो अगर आपको सक्सेसफुल स्टार्टअप फाउंडर बनना है, अगर आपको एक वैल्यूएबल कंपनी क्रिएट करनी है, तो ये वीडियो ज़रूर आखिर तक देखना, क्योंकि मैं हवा में बातें नहीं करता. आई वोंट टेल यू हाउ टू डेवलप मैजिकल प्रोडक्ट्स जस्ट फ्रॉम थिन एयर, राइट? आई ऑलवेज स्पीक ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ पावरफुल बिजनेस फ्रेमवर्क्स, पावरफुल बिजनेस केस स्टडीज, द फ्रेमवर्क्स दैट हैव a high proven track record and which are necessary for every startup founder and business founder to learn. So you can start thinking about the value proposition based upon two important factors. The first one is the external enablers or the environmental enablers, and the second one is the consumer insights, the consumer's pains, the gains, the needs, and the problems that you are willing to solve. So now the external enablers and the environmental enablers are nothing but the changes in the ecosystem that are happening currently, and it is something that's trending all around you. So it can be in the form of new technologies, it can be in the form of political changes taking place, it can be in the form of changes in the workforce in your country, it can also be in the form of development of new business ecosystems all around you. So in today's world, external enablers can be maybe in the form of new technologies like AI and blockchain, robotics, space tech, or also development of new products, discovery of new products like graphene, right? So there can be so many things that can be done using these new products and these new technologies, and which can help you indeed create a very unique product and service. And on the other hand, the customer's needs and problems are something that you are trying to solve and trying to find a solution. So suppose to take an example, the problem of storage, right? So you can solve the problem of storage by introducing cloud storage like Google Drive and Dropbox, right? So these are the basic two enablers that help you define your value proposition. So now there are three principles that you need to keep in mind while building a value proposition for your company. And the first one is customers generally don't care about your products or your technologies, right? They care about just one thing, and that is it going to be valuable? Is it going to be useful for them? If your product is not useful for them, then it doesn't matter how great your product is or how great the technology of your product is. So suppose if the customer wants to put a nail in the wall and if your drilling machine is not helping him to drill the hole, then however great the drilling machine is, the customer will not accept it, right? He will find some other way to solve the problem. And that brings me to the second principle, that the customers don't wait for anyone to solve their problems. They will solve their own problems by their own innovative methods, by hook or by crook. If you don't come up with a drilling machine to drill a hole in the wall, they will use a hammer to beat the nail into the wall, or they will use anything to beat the nail into the wall, right? So customers don't wait for anyone. They may use inefficient and less productive methods, but they will use the methods that are useful for them, and only if your products are useful for them, only then they will adopt those products and services. And the third thing that you need to understand is the value proposition is different for each and every customer segment. The value proposition for a customer segment is not universal to everybody, right? Because the pains and the gains and the jobs that need to be done are different for each and every customer segment that exists. So if you are targeting a specific customer segment, then you need to build a specific value proposition for them. And now if you want to target a different set of customer segments, then you need to modify your value proposition or the products or services as per their needs, as per their demands, and as per their pains. Today we are going to use a very interesting framework, as I've already told you, which is called as the value proposition framework or the value proposition canvas, which is also called as the problem solution fit, because it is something that helps us identify the problems and build a simultaneous solution to it, right? So on the one side you have the customer segment, that is the customer pains, the gains, and the jobs that need to be done. And on the other hand, you can see the value proposition segment, where all the products and services, the gain creators and the pain relievers are need to be mentioned. So I feel the framework is quite basic and quite self-explanatory. तो अगर मैं बात करूँ customer segment की, so what is meant by jobs that need to be done? So it is something that the customers are finding solutions for. It is something that the customers are trying to solve, right? Now, what are the pains? The pains are something that the problems that the customer is facing while doing those activities or while solving those problems. So those are the pains. What are the gains? So gains are something that the customer expects out of the products and services if he needs to adopt those products and services. So gains are nothing but they are the customer's expectations that an ideal product or service should have. And on the other hand, the value proposition segment, the products and services are those that would fulfill the customer's jobs. The gain creators are those that would meet the expectations of the customers, and the pain relievers are those that would relieve the pain points or the problems that the customer is facing while doing that activity or carrying out that task. So you can see an example of general moviegoers, right? You can see the customer segment part here. So now we can see that what are the basic jobs that are needed to get done in this scenario. So the first thing is get entertained. Of course, if the customers are going to movie theaters, then definitely they want to get entertained. The second is relax. We all go to theaters to relax, to chill, right? The third thing is escape reality, because what we see in the movie is something that is very ideal, or that is futuristic, or that is something that would less probably happen in the real world. The fourth thing is share with someone. So suppose you are going with your friends, family, or your loved one, so you need to spend some quality time with them, right? So that is another job. Now those are the jobs that need to be done. Now we will see that what are the pains that the customers face. So the first is long commute. Now this can vary. So as I've said that the pains, gains, and jobs will vary from each customer segment. So suppose the movie theater is far away, so yes, long commute. Second is limited options, it again varies. The third is waste of time. Yeah, suppose so if the movie is not that good, so you may feel that it is the waste of time and also waste of money. Not able to get a babysitter. So suppose there is a young couple who has a small kid or small children, they can't leave their children alone at home. So in that case, they need to avoid their plans of going to a movie, or they need to arrange a babysitter. So that is one of the pains. And there are again so many, like bad parking. There might not be a good parking, crowded long queues, no convenient show times, expensive movie tickets, or anything that you are eating there. Stories too complex that you are not able to understand, or you are getting bored, right? So there are so many pains that need to be solved. Now we'll speak about the gains. So now you can see the gains or the expectations that the customers expect from that place. The first one is comfortable, not spending much money, not having missed anything. We are all very careful about not missing the beginning of the movie. Then feeling included in the story, it is something that the customers should connect with. Organized everything in advance, so there should not be last moment hassle of booking tickets and standing in long queues, right? So there are so many jobs, the pains and the gains that are need to be achieved. However, if you're not aware of these things, you will end up building a value proposition that is neither valuable, nor unique, nor needed, and that is useless. And that will not only waste your time, it will also waste your investment, it will also waste your energy. So, understanding the customer segments is basically 5 steps. So the first steps is select your target customer segment. It is very important to have a target customer segment. You can't build anything that is universal. So select the target customer segment. Second is identify the customer jobs. Third is identify the customer gains. Fourth is identify the customer pains. And the fifth is prioritize the jobs that are needed to be done, prioritize the pains that are first needed to be solved, and prioritize the gains that are first needed to be achieved. And then and only then you can build a great customer segment chart, which will help you build a great value proposition chart on the other side. So I hope that everyone of you knows how to come up with a great business idea and how to do a great market research. And if you're not aware of it, then you can just go back and check my previous videos. You can also click on the I button and you can watch those previous videos that I have uploaded, because they would be very useful for you to come up until this step. So now what we have seen is the customer segment, and now what we want to build is the value proposition. So this is the problem, this is the solution, therefore it is called the problem solution fit, and it's very easy to understand. Now I won't be spending much time in building the value proposition, because as I have already said, that is quite self-explanatory, and I have told you how to identify the customer segment, the problems, the jobs and the pains and the gains, because that is the most important part. Because if you are aware of that, you already have that idea in your mind and you can design your own products and services as per those customer pains and gains. Now, one of the most important thing the value proposition canvas offers to us is not just the great value proposition, but a one-line description of your idea or your business. As we have previously discussed, that while approaching an investor, the first thing that he may ask you is a one-line short description of what your company does, what problem does it solve, who are the customers that it caters to, right? And why would it be successful? So the investors generally ask for a 50-word or a 100-word one-line statement, descriptive statement of your idea or business. Value proposition helps us to come up with that amazing statement, and how you can just see here. So this is just a fill in the blanks, and the blanks can be filled by each and every segment that you fill in the value proposition canvas. R dash, you can see the products and services in the value proposition. Helps dash, that is the customer segment who wants to dash the jobs that the customers want to get done. By dash, pains, by solving the pains that the customers are facing, and dash the gains that we are creating. So this is very important. It may seem very basic, very simple, but it is indeed a very important framework. It is very important to have a one-line description, because that is something that builds your brand identity. That is something that gives you the motto of building the business. That is something that gives you a clear vision of goals and priorities that you need to achieve. So I hope you have understood how to come up with a great unique value proposition, how to build your unique features and unique products based upon the customer's pain points and expectations. आपको बस एक बात याद रखनी है, you just need to understand one thing, that it is an iterative process. You can never say that I have a product market fit, I have a problem solution fit, because you can never have one. You always need to introduce one product, learn from it, and then reiterate it lifelong. So as long as your business exists, you need to always reiterate your value proposition as per the changing needs and demands of the customers. तो आपको हमेशा आपका value proposition update करना पड़ेगा, pivot करना पड़ेगा, upgrade करना पड़ेगा, evolve करना पड़ेगा कस्टमर्स के चेंजिंग नीड्स एंड डिमांड्स और हैबिट्स और एक्सटर्नल अनेबलर्स के बेसिस पे, और एल्स यू विल बिकम रिडेंडेंट, or your growth will become stagnant and you will become something of the past. And there are many examples of big famous companies who have failed because of not changing with time. The most famous ones are maybe Nokia, Kodak. They were the market leaders of their time. However, they didn't change with the changing customer demands and changing times, changing needs, and therefore now they have become something of the past. तो आई होप आपको वीडियो पसंद आया होगा, एंड इफ़ यू हैव लाइक द वीडियो देन डू हिट द लाइक बटन, लाइक कमेंट शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब टू द चैनल। अगर आप इस चैनल पे नए हैं, हिट द बेल आइकन ताकि मेरे आने वाले लेटेस्ट वीडियोस के नोटिफिकेशंस आप तक ज़रूर पहुँचे। और अगर आपने मेरे प्रीवियस वीडियोज़ नहीं देखे तो वो ज़रूर चेक करना और जुड़े रहना इस चैनल के साथ, क्योंकि मैं आता रहूँगा इंटरेस्टिंग एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप, फाइनेंस, इकोनॉमिक्स, बिजनेस, स्टार्टअप्स और करियर मोटिवेशन से रिलेटेड काफ़ी सारे वीडियोस के साथ। तो फिर मिलेंगे अगली वीडियो में, तब तक के लिए गुड बाय, टेक केयर, थैंक यू।